Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm ExxotikGaming. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'll be showing you all a deleted version of PUBG Mobile that released many years ago back in 2018 that truly had next-gen graphics for its time. As you can see from the gameplay right here, this game literally looks like the PC version of PUBG, but you could play it on your phone, and I would argue that to a certain extent, it even looks better than the PUBG Mobile that we have right now in 2023. Many years ago, back in late 2017 and early 2018, the mobile gaming space was very different. Mobile battle royales hadn't really caught on yet, but there were some big players trying to dip their toes into the markets. We had many games that were coming out right around the same time. For instance, Rules of Survival, Knives Out, Hopeless Land, Crossfire Legends, Bullet Strike Battlegrounds, and Garena Free Fire. All of these games became very successful, and then, in early 2018, PUBG Mobile came out, and it completely revolutionized the mobile gaming industry. It exploded in popularity. Everybody wanted to play it because it truly was a PC game for your phone. However, PUBG was not in the spotlight for that long because a couple of months after PUBG Mobile's release, Fortnite Mobile came out, and it revolutionized the mobile gaming industry even more. It was the first mobile battle royale game to have crossplay, and on top of that, there was the building aspect of Fortnite. A lot of people liked this different type of playstyle than you had with all of these other games, like PUBG and Rules of Survival and Free Fire. Now, the developers of PUBG Mobile weren't stupid. They realized that Fortnite Mobile was extremely successful, and they wanted to get a little bit of the action. I can't blame them. So, in this deleted version of PUBG Mobile, there were actually elements that Fortnite Mobile pioneered. For instance, there was building. You could place down this special tower thing, and it could allow you to climb up on top of buildings that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. Or you could literally place down a fake bush wherever you wanted on the ground, and then hide inside of it to hopefully hide from other unsuspecting players. And then you could also put down decoy players, people that looked just like you. You could put them inside of a window, for instance, and maybe trigger enemies to potentially fire at them. And since it's a decoy, there's no risk to you, but you'll know where that enemy was. And there were many more cool features to this lost version of PUBG Mobile. They liked to call it PUBG Mobile Marching. That was the rough translation from the Chinese name of the game. This game was shut down about 3 to 4 years ago, and it was never put back online since. Now, obviously, I'm not going to talk about this lost version of PUBG without showing you all some proper gameplay first, and I want to give a massive shout out to the Up to Down YouTube channel. This YouTube channel actually recorded a couple of videos way back in 2019 and 2018 before this game got shut down. I found out about it well after the game got shut down, so I never got a chance to play it myself. The gameplays you're going to see in this video are from Up to Down. Their channel will be linked down below in the description. And yeah, this is it. This is PUBG Mobile in 2018, but it was only available in China, so most of us never even realized that PUBG could have looked this good. Now, I gotta say, the graphics are fantastic. This doesn't look that different from the PC version of the game, right down to the colorization. It is ridiculous. I always remember when I first played PUBG on PC back in 2017, I always thought the colors were really dark, it wasn't that saturated, and it looked more gritty and realistic. And that's what I think this version of PUBG looked like. It wasn't super saturated, it looked grim and dull, just like the setting that it was supposed to be in. I think Erangel was supposed to be set in like some post-apocalyptic Soviet country, and that's not supposed to be a happy, cheery place. And I think they really did that very well with the whole art style of this game. Take a look at the grass and the shadows and the trees and how lush and just beautiful it looks. This was back in 2018. Process that. And on top of that, this isn't even gameplay directly recorded. This is re-uploaded to YouTube, and then I downloaded the gameplay, so the quality is degraded even from what you would normally see on your phone. It would look even better if you were playing this yourself. Now, talking about all of these graphics here, I think that's the big reason why this game might have been shut down back in like 2020 or whenever they decided to shut this game down. I think Tencent decided to focus more on optimization rather than graphics. They had these two versions of PUBG alongside all of those others, you know, like Battlegrounds Mobile India, the Korean version, Game for Peace, the Vietnamese version. They had all these different games, and they realized, you know what, we have all these games. If some of them have too high of graphics, most people aren't going to be able to play them. And I think that's probably what happened with this game. Back when this game first released, most people could never play it on their phones because it was just too powerful of a game. Now take a look at this. You can see that these are the elements that I was talking about earlier, where this game was taking inspiration from Fortnite Mobile. If you wanted to get up on top of a roof of a building, you could place down this cool little extending tower thing, and you could actually get that, allowed to use that to get up on top of the building. That's what I'm trying to say right here. Now, overall, gameplay-wise, that looks really solid as well. From everybody that I've talked to about this version of the game, it seemed like there was a difference in the gameplay style here. I think like the recoil control was different in this version of the game. Weapons just felt different. Now, I don't know if there were any exclusive weapons in this game, but I honestly wouldn't be that surprised. And it's just crazy to me. Take a look at something like this. Look at the grass. Look at how good that looks. This literally looks very close to a PC game. And I can only imagine back in 2018, when people were used to games like, you know, Rules of Survival, Knives Out, Hopeless Land, Free Fire, all of these games with pretty bad graphics, coming to something like this, it's freaking awesome. These graphics are not that different from games that we have right now in 2023, like Undawn. Compare these graphics head to head with Undawn. Undawn doesn't even look that much better, and it's been 5 years. So, you know, it's kind of giving us the question of like, what the heck are these game dev companies doing? If they could do this way back in 2018, why the heck aren't games looking so much better in 2023? We literally only have like Arena Breakout as a game that properly looks so much better than something that we see right here. Now, obviously, there may be a lot of games in the works that will have better graphics than this, and I have no doubt in my mind that in a couple of years, we look back at something like this, and this does look pretty far behind compared to games. But right now, in 2023, taking a look at these graphics here doesn't even look that different from games in 2023, and that is freaking awesome. I only wish that this game was somehow still available to play, and you could play some, like, offline version of it. That's honestly what I wish a lot of developers did. They just, you know, whenever a game, the servers decided to be shut down, they would just release it on the Google Play Store or the App Store and just make it an offline game. So you could still go up against bots and still have that experience, but they're not working on it, they're not updating it, they're not, you know, maintaining it and stuff like that. And since it's offline, it doesn't matter. They don't have to maintain it because you're not going to have hackers and any of that other issue if it's going to be an offline game. That's just my suggestion to any game dev. Don't just shut down your game and make it so nobody can play it. I'm sure many people would love to be able to play this game even if it was just offline. Take a look at the vehicular gameplay. I mean, that dune buggy looks fantastic. It literally, that's as good as like PUBG in 2023, you know? There's just so much to like about this game. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, very shortly, you're going to see this guy die. Unfortunately, up to down might have not been the best at this game. Driving at about 2 miles an hour right toward an enemy that has a fully automatic weapon is not a good thing to do. You're definitely going to die there. And he, unfortunately, got 12th place out of the 51 people in this. And here's a little bit of the loading screens right here. Looks very different from the PUBG that we know today. I do want to show you all a second match from Up to Down. This one records a lot more gameplay with kills and stuff like that. And this is also a squads match, but I don't think the squad really does anything. This is also a bit different looking in terms of graphics. I don't think these graphics are at high level. It's also at a different time of day, and it looks like it's more saturated. Now, this gameplay is from about 6 months to a year later, and that's entirely possible that, you know, the game was starting to add more saturation to cater toward people that are used to, like, Fortnite and stuff like that. Speaking of Fortnite, look at this. You could place down bushes and hide in them. I talked about that earlier on. You could literally do that in this version of the game. Why the heck you can't do that in PUBG now, I have no idea. Or maybe you can, but, you know, back in the global version, this was not possible back in 2019, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Why didn't they add this to the regular version of PUBG? It's almost as if this was like the testing version of the game or something like that. I have no idea. I think we're about to see this guy place down a decoy player, a bot or whatever. I don't really know what you would like to call this thing. I think it's probably a decoy. But, you know, the whole thing with this is you could place down somebody that looks just like you, maybe even put down the bush to make it more realistic, like you're actually hiding behind cover. And then that way, if somebody shoots at the decoy, then you know where they are. If they shoot your decoy, who freaking cares? You know, you have multiple different decoys. It doesn't really matter. Now, I don't know why he has decided to do this. This is like a no-brainer of something you would not do in PUBG. Just make yourself way out in the middle of the open. Oh, and there's also Monster Energy in this version of PUBG. Literally, it's not just a regular energy drink. It is actually Monster Energy. And it's crazy. And it's different, too, because we've seen in the other gameplay, the gameplay that was about 6 months older, that was in the first half of the video, when you place down that little plant, it was actually a tree. You could literally place down an entire tree in PUBG. In this one, which is the newer version, it was only like a little bush. So they were tweaking around with a lot of different stuff, and I don't know, I feel like something like that could actually be pretty cool in PUBG in 2023. Just imagine being able to place down an entire tree that looks like the ones you can see right there, and using that as your cover. Nowadays, I think they do have this in PUBG, if I'm not mistaken. I think there is some sort of shield thing. If not PUBG, it's definitely a new state. So, I mean, this was literally back in 2019. Think of how many years this game was ahead of its time. It's just freaking awesome. Now, from this gameplay at this point, I think this guy has basically tried to, like, hide inside of this one little building. He's basically made it his fort for the entire rest of the match. People are coming, invading from all directions like Plants vs. Zombies, and he is holding down the fort. He even places down his little shield there to try and, like, block anybody from going inside the door. But, unfortunately, I don't think that actually worked too well because I think some people managed to sneak inside, if I'm not mistaken. I also want to say that this guy is playing this on PC on an emulator, but this version of the game was available on mobile, obviously, as you can see from the touchscreen controls. So don't think just because you see key bindings right there, this game was only available on PC. This game was meant to be played on mobile devices, and yeah, I just wanted to clear that up in case anybody was questioning me on that. As you can see now, though, somebody has come inside trying to infiltrate, and he almost dies. You should probably take down that shield and put a better one in its place. And that's another cool thing that you could do. You weren't wasting all of these things. It's not like you only got a limited amount of that little thing that extends up to get you on top of buildings. You could press another button to detract it, and then you could put it back into your backpack. Same thing with the shield. If he really wanted to, he could knock down the shield, put it back into his backpack, and put it somewhere else. It's not like you have to destroy it first, and then you have to wait until you can find another one off of somebody else's dead body. It's really cool. He's actually doing some pretty intelligent moves right here. He's putting a decoy down, so people might shoot at the decoy instead of him first. That's probably something I would do. Though, if I was playing this myself, I would definitely not hide inside one building for like, 20 minutes or something like that. I've severely condensed this video down to only about 10 minutes for these 2 matches, but this second match was like 30 minutes long or something like that, and he was inside for a very, very long time. I do think, though, it's about time for this guy to die. Unfortunately, he stays inside this building for too long. He's panicking. He doesn't realize the zone has come in, and unfortunately, the zone is just too powerful. And he dies outside of the zone, exactly like a noob should do. Rest in peace. And that is this version of PUBG Mobile. Well, yeah, honestly, that's basically it, guys. I've condensed down the video to show you guys all of that. There are many other videos on YouTube of this lost version of PUBG. You can check them out if you would like. Just search up PUBG Mobile Marching, and you'll probably find some. And, yeah, hope y'all did enjoy this video. I hope this game maybe comes back at some point in the future, or maybe eventually the global version looks like this. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next episode.